Welcome back. The details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received on Saturday his Serbian counterpart Alexander Vučić at Al-Ittihadiyya Presidential Palace. Upon the guest's arrival, the two leaders reviewed the Guard of Honor. National anthems of both countries were played. President al-Sisi and his Serbian counterpart held extensive talks tackling regional and international files where consensus was illustrated in a number of issues of common concern. Moreover, both leaders underscored the deeply rooted relations between Egypt and Serbia, emphasizing the need to strengthen the mechanisms of bilateral cooperation across all domains. Following the talks, the two presidents held a joint press conference and witnessed the signing of more agreements. President al-Sisi welcomed his Serbian counterpart, hailing the deeply rooted ties that bind the two nations, and expressed will of Egypt to strengthen and to boost cooperation with Serbia in various domains, particularly the economic, investment and trade fields. Also, extensive tourism efforts are going to be exerted to boost the number of tourists between the two countries in the very near future. For his part, Vučić hailed the political leadership of Egypt's vision regarding a number of files, especially the regional conflicts in Gaza and in Sudan. He also said that there are mutual and continuous consultations between Egypt and Serbia regarding a number of issues of mutual concern, as the two countries shared the same vision and are working together to achieve stability, security and peace, whether regionally or internationally. Special committee formed to study the government's program continues its meetings on Saturday to listen to ministers of labor, education, higher education, social solidarity, health, housing, youth and sports. First Deputy of the Parliament, Councillor Ahmed Saadeddin, stressed the importance of discussions that took place between members of Parliament and concerned ministers during the meetings, referring to the matching of visions from both sides, which underscores the complete keenness on developing all of the state sectors. Speaker of the Parliament, Adel Abdurrahman Al-Assoumi, said the international deliberate and shameful stance towards the Palestinian cause necessitates a reconsideration of international rules. Al-Assoumi's remarks came while addressing the fifth plenary session of the fourth session of the third legislative term of the Arab Parliament on Saturday at the Parliament's headquarters in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. We have more details.
The fifth plenary session of the fourth session of the third legislative term of the Arab Parliament kicked off on Saturday at the Parliament's headquarters in Cairo, headed by Speaker Adel Al-Assoumi. Arab Parliament discussed a number of Arab regional and international files in addition to the latest developments in the Palestinian cause, situation in the Gaza Strip and the occupied Palestinian territories. Addressing the session, Al-Assoumi stated the shameful situation and crimes as well as massacres committed by the occupation forces against the Palestinian people, which are necessitating a reconsideration of international rules. Considering the Libyan file, the Arab Parliament Speaker reiterated the Parliament's support for holding a presidential and parliamentary election in Libya, stressing that this would enhance peace and security in the region. Referring to the Yemeni issue, Al-Assoumi called on the intensifying of Arab efforts to reach a sustainable and comprehensive solution to the crisis, adding this paves the way to end the humanitarian suffering of the Yemeni people. He also expressed the Arab Parliament's relentless efforts that aim to maintain the unity and sovereignty of Yemen. For their part, members of the Arab Parliament expressed their support for the Palestinian people, stating that the Palestinian cause was and will remain the central issue of Arabs, to which the Arab Parliament pays special attention.
Israeli occupation committed a new massacre in a refugee camp in Khan Yunis, south of Gaza Strip, that left at least 100 Palestinian martyrs and injured. Earlier, 5 Palestinians were martyred and others were wounded as a result of Israeli occupation bombardment of a house in Deir al-Balah in the center of Gaza. We have more details.
5 Palestinians were killed and others wounded as a result of Israeli occupation bombardment of a house in Deir al-Balah in the center of the Gaza Strip. The occupation continues its land, sea and air aggression, with its jets targeting western areas of Khan Yunis, south of the Strip. Israel also carried out 3 raids in Khan Yunis, with artillery hitting an apartment in West Gaza City. United Kingdom-based aid group said one of its senior employees in Gaza was killed on Friday in an Israeli strike that hit its warehouse located in an Israeli-declared humanitarian safe zone. The strike also killed 3 staffers from other aid groups using the warehouse. Israeli military said Hossein Mansour, the Al Khair Foundation member who was killed, was in fact a senior Hamas fighter. Israel claims he used his position with the humanitarian group to raise money for Hamas. After a 2-week Israeli offensive in northern Gaza, dozens of bodies were collected throughout Gaza cities, neighborhoods, and Beit al-Ahli hospital on Friday morning. Civil defense workers said they're still recovering dead and wounded from the destroyed streets and buildings. Since then, Israeli ground offensives and bombardments have killed more than 38,300 people in Gaza. The Health Ministry in Gaza said Israeli ground offensive and bombardments have also killed thousands of others.
Director of non-governmental Palestinian organization network Amjad al-Shawa asserted that Egypt was among top countries that offered humanitarian aid to the Palestinians inside Gaza since the start of the Israeli genocide war on the Palestinian enclave last October. Al-Shawa said that Israeli occupation imposed huge restrictions, especially after closure of Rafah border crossing. He pointed that Gaza Strip is suffering from shortage in potable water due to fuel shortage and destruction of infrastructure. He added that women and children are suffering from panic attacks and psychological diseases as a result of Israeli continuous airstrikes on populated areas, in addition to running out of a lot of medications.